I haven't the smallest intention of dining with Aunt Augusta. To begin with, I dined there on Monday, and once a week is quite enough to dine with one's own relations. In the second place, whenever I do dine there, I am always treated as a member of the family, and sent down with either no woman at all, or two. In the third place, I know perfectly well whom she will place me next to tonight. She will place me next Mary Farquhar, who always flirts with her own husband across the dinner table. That is not very pleasant indeed. It's not even decent. And that sort of thing is enormously on the increase. The amount of women in London who flirt with their own husbands is perfectly scandalous. It looks so bad. It is simply washing one's clean linen in public. Welcome to the Jordan Leer program. Welcome to Earth. Welcome to the truth. The truth isn't out there. It's not. Oh no. Contrary to popular belief, my friends, the truth is right here. The truth is that Jordan Leer is not an actor. Jordan Leer is not a comedian. Jordan Leer is not a musician. He doesn't paint little fucking pictures on fucking Microsoft Paint or whatever the fuck it is he Googles. The truth is, Jordan Leer is not a human being. Okay? The truth is, Jordan Leer is a motherfrontin' alien. And I ain't talking about the illegal kind south of the border or north of one, depending on your ideology. I mean, I'm from outer space. I was sent here on a mission. I'm just visiting. That's the title of the episode. I'm just visiting. I'm doing research. I'm observing humans. I've been watching you. I've been raised by you. I've been taught by you. I've made love to you. Those were all separate people that happened to. But the truth is here, and I'm not human. I'm an alien, and I've been posing as a human. And let me tell you, on Earth, to the people. Let me talk to the proletariat. Okay, let me be a populist. Let me appeal to the masses if I can, because that's the truth. The truth is, it's hard being a human. It's hard. It's hard. You have feelings, you know? And you feel things. The fucking cold air is enough for anyone to be like, fuck this shit, I'm out. You know? The shit where you walk outside and the sensors of the skin y'all motherfuckers got, and it's like fucking cold. Fuck that shit, okay? Also, same subject. When it gets fucking hot, motherfuckers. Okay? If I get fucking wet, what about when it smells and shit? What about stinky stuff? You know? What about embarrassing stuff? What about all this stuff where it's like my dick falls out and someone sees it and they see how small it is? What the fuck is... There's so much shit out there, man. Sometimes you gotta tell someone you're gonna be there, and you don't show up, and they never talk to you again. You know? And that's your girlfriend. What the fuck? What is this time? What is this scheduling fucking thing you guys got going the fuck on? Ugh. Don't even get me started on podcasts. Jesus. Front door Christ. Where's he at? The biggest one Because this whole fucking weather thing really gets the mood going, man. And the winters here are, ooh, Jesus, But here's the thing. March comes around. The humans tell me it's about to be springtime. And they go, hey, it's pretty out there. We have pictures of flowers and birds and shit. March is a fucking lie. I'd rather it be fucking destitute fucking winter again. I'd rather it be snow. What is this fucking muddy, mucky, windy fucking bull fucking shit? And it's transitioning, You got all these fucking New Year's resolutions. That's the other, you get fat as a fucking human in January. In January you got to set these resolutions because you're such a fucking fat fuck because you ate yourself or you poisoned yourself. Everything you guys eat is fucking poison. It's insane. Hey, it's hard being one of y'all. It is. Anyways, by March everyone's fucking disappointed because you realize you're still a fat fuck and you were depressed because of the winter, and now that it's starting to get nice out. Jeez. March can be a bummer. March can be a bummer. Hold on. You step outside of your skin a little bit. And take a fucking breath so you can read your fucking notes. That's what I'm talking about. You gotta worry about breathing up in here? Holy shit. This whole time thing. Anyways. There's a lot to celebrate for March, okay? You can get it out there. You can celebrate Women's Day. You can celebrate pi if you want to do your fucking math, Do your 314. You got Austin 316. You can drink some fucking beers and whoop some ass. Do some stone cold stunners. You know what I mean? And you got St. Patty's Day. You can drink yourself out of your fucking gourd. Be as green as I am, Get the fucking snakes out of Ireland. Watch some Leonardo DiCaprio help fucking Matt Damon get cucked out in Boston. This is also World Poetry Day. Yesterday was World Poetry Day. I'm just saying, guys. You need to realize what you are, okay? And realize March isn't about spring, okay? March is about being ugly. Sit in it. Respect yourselves, humans. Quit striving. Quit fighting this life force that is pain and suffering. Just be a fat, drunk fuck. You know what I mean? Because you gotta get onto the fucking next thing. That's my, I don't know. As a wise man, one of the wisest humans I have met in my journey here, once said, it's hard out here for a pimp when you're trying to get this money for the rent. And the Cadillacs and gas money spent, we'll have a whole lot of humans. How's that fucking song end? I'm just visiting. Next segment. Sponsored by Play It Against Sports. It's loud when I yell in that fucking thing. Whatever, I'm an alien, like I was saying. I'm doing the whole podcast, that fucking thing on. I can barely do a podcast and talk by myself with all this shit. Sponsored by Play It Against Sports. I love Play It Against Sports. I love the cleats, I love the baseball bats with dents in them, This baseball season's coming up, maybe you're playing t-ball, Maybe you're like, they put you a catcher and you don't even like baseball and you got to wear all that shit. Go down and play it against sports. Get all that fucking catcher's equipment and put a thing over, get a mask that fits and snug. Because if you get one of those that's old school that they just supply every little league, you know, it's going to swing to the side. And some idiot that he doesn't even want to fucking be there anyways, he's going to swing it back with one arm, his fucking bat. He's going to smack you in the fucking teeth and knock all your fucking teeth out. It happens all the time. Every fucking year. Every day that happens. Even outside of baseball season. So go down to Play It Again Sports and tell them to give Jordan some money because I have an active lawsuit against them for not giving me money, and I continue to be sponsored by them. Continued to be sponsored by them, and I love them. They won't even give me fruit and consignment. Where's my consignment? Consignment for the Jordan Leer program. That's all I ask. Or some stickers. Or put like one cardboard cutout of me in your store, and I will continue to do this. And if you don't, I'm going to continue to do this. Yeah. And if you don't do either of those things, I will continue to do this. I will be sponsored by you until I figure out a different bit. And I like this one, so I'm probably going to stick with it. Yeah. Your move. Play It Again Sports. Your play. Play it again. I'll make a whole Play It Again Sports movie, whether you ask me to or not. Whether you ask me to or not. Thank you. And as always, like and subscribe or dislike and block. You know, if you don't want to hear them anymore, you can always click the mute button. You know, or you could send me $1 on Patreon. My Patreon is only $1 single. You know. And I really could use, I love the support. I've got 1 million subscribers and I could use 1 million more. And if you can't afford it, the $1 per month to make me feel like a star that I am, I will Venmo you the $1 back. Okay. Or say you want to send me $1 and you want me to donate $1 of that towards a charity you like. Hey, let's do it. Let's get it happening. I think there's something to getting engaged with each other, you know? And having some sort of real connectedness and artists instead of just flipping away and you get BS art and your friends are trying to put out great art and you kind of scoom by it. And it happened to me. I got millions and millions of subscribers and I'm an alien out of this world. Do that. Check out Jordan Leer program. Little links onto the Patreon. You can follow my fucking favorite, my private Instagram too. Okay. Fan questions. Let me take this shit off. My hair look good. Should appreciate your hair. Not everyone has hair. This shit's real. It's real. You know? All my friends are losing it. I'm going to cherish it because the day it's gone, I'll just get it. I don't know. That's the other thing about being human. People lose their hair. It's tough. It's hard. I might lose mine. I might not have it forever. I got to come to terms with that. Every day is a gosh darn gift. All right. Fan questions, comments, and concerns. You know, if you got any, I'd love comments. I love comments on my stuff. Whatever you feel. Whether you like it, dislike it, tell me why you like it, don't like it, you agree, disagree. You know, the books I've read, if you've read the books or not, let me know. I will talk about what you said on here. I will, man. And I really appreciate it. First off came from Kyle Kreis. Kyle Kreis is a comedian out of Los Angeles. Good friend of mine, big Steeler fan. He's a great musician, too. Really kick-ass bass player. Plays many instruments, but he's a rock musician. And great radio host and comedian. All sorts of shit. Multi-talented artist. Flex that shit. Kyle Kreis, he posted on my Upton Sinclair Jungle book report that I did. He said all this Sinclair content is why they're trying to ban TikTok. Because I posted on TikTok and I don't... Dude, it's funny. Like, I don't pay attention to politics. I shouldn't say that because I kind of do. You know, but I'm real on the peripherals. And I am always like a month behind the cycle because it moves fast. And it's like, of course, they politicized fucking the apps, you know. And I don't know which, but, you know, for instance, it's like, oh, X is like for Republicans and shit. And
Facebook's all for the fucking liberal, fucking Instagram's a bunch of the algorithms just set for Biden. It's like, I don't know, maybe, but of course, in the world of fighting, the dividing line of of competition, where people compete over many things. Of course, fuck a TikTok, but yeah, I don't know. I wonder because I looked up Upton Sinclair. Like I do, I look up other book reports. Okay, I do, and there's not many. There's not many to look up, because you want to see, make sure you're not like, I don't know. Obviously, you don't want to steal from other people. That is the main thing. But you want to look for like the trends, what's hot, because it's like, but there ain't nothing on like Upton Sinclair. I was just curious. It's like 5 or 6, and I wonder. Wonder if that's suppressed because it's bringing up socialism. He's bringing up ideas that are counterintuitive to competition. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I guess so. That is probably why they're trying to ban that up. What else did I get here? We got from Spidar OS. He commented, because I was commented on some... they're trying to say Pluto's not a planet. Because Pluto, he said, and I didn't understand what they were saying. Something about the Kuiper Belt and the size of moons and different pieces of shit in the Kuiper Belt and orbits. And I'm like, what's this say? And Spider OS said Pluto was found on the Kuiper Belt. And I said, okay. Oh. So then I looked up Neil deGrasse Tyson's, and he said there's so much shit out there. It's like, that there's a bunch of stuff like the size of Pluto. There's like a lot of stuff that they're recategorizing and finding, and they're trying to say that Pluto is a planet because it continues. If it would be a planet if it's in a continuous orbit, and the other things that are at the same size aren't in a continuous orbit. I don't know. Point is, there's all sorts of shit out there that y'all humans will never fully comprehend. Okay, as an alien, let me go take my human suit off and put my alien back on. I know it looks like the opposite, but that's how technology is in my dimension, okay? My dimension of space works vastly different. This is just, if anything, an example of what I'm trying to explain to you, Nimrods. But here's the thing. There's so much shit out there and in here that you'll never understand. Because you couldn't and you wouldn't. And what do we, like, that word understand to an alien, what the fuck does that mean? No comprehendo, okay? Nah, I'm saying. Sometimes I don't know. It gets me on rants, but I don't mind. And lastly, I have an anonymous write-in from someone asked to be anonymous. They said, are there Kegels for men? And I'll tell you the truth. And actually, I'm going to go back to the alien to describe this to everyone, okay? Because it is so hard being a human. As I was getting to, one of the many difficulties that gets people is your status in this life seems to be predicated on the size of one's, titties, vagina, penis, butthole, hands, height overall, shoulders, ankles. But for the men, which I've been romping around as, while I've been on this human experiment and shit, I've been doing the dude version of it. The penis size is just, they really want to know about your wiener in life. It's like, you got a big dick or not? And there are exercises, because they're asking about Kegels, because Kegels are for women to make their pussies the size that they like them to be. But for the men, are there Kegels for them? Yes, there are. One of my buddies, two of my buddies, I guess three of our brothers that live together, we were growing up, and they when we were going through puberty, or I was pretending to go through puberty in my human state, and they already had, they were like, if you put a washcloth on your dick and flex it, it'll make your dick bigger.
And I just took everything they said as fucking gospel. So, I haven't stopped doing it. And hasn't worked for me, my human self. I still got a little one. Luckily, in my home planet, my home dimension, penis size has nothing to do with it. In fact, there's not a gender divergence amongst what we do. Has nothing to do with our procreation. Our procreation is more ours is more like your election. Honestly. Yes, yeah. Most procreations run like an election, and the byproduct of such is one where you wonder who's pulling the strings. But I keep voting. I wonder if it's real. But I get fired. I get just as fired up for it. I will say that. Alright, next segment.
Alrighty, welcome to the program. Here is the very Virgo-esque list of everything I wrote down that I watched and read and intook into my head. You know what I mean? Movies and television shows and documentary and books and poetry and play and music documentary. Let's start it off with the movies. The movies I sat at home and watched. Not in a theater. Didn't get out to the theater at all. Nothing warranted it. And I'm going to be more selective in my life going forward on that. And started off last week, I guess. I watched Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning. Oh, Tom Cruise. These movies are so good, okay? And I got nothing against James Bond, but if you're comparing franchises, to me, I'm so much more entertained by Mission Impossible. And there was some lag there between 4 and 5, but they've created a body of work. There's 7 of them now, right? Or is this the 8th one? I don't know. There's enough. You're like, oh, that's the best action franchise of all time. When I saw it in the theater, I saw it with like a 6-pack in my fucking backpack of Bud Light. People next to me didn't give a fuck. Everyone's just having a good time. You need that. If another Mission Impossible movie comes out, when it comes out, the sequel to that one, I'll be in the theater. Because there's nothing better than like an opening night crowd of a Tom Cruise movie and hearing everyone go, "Run, Tom, run, run. He's running. He's running. He's running." You know, because Tom knows it's a fun bit now to have him run. Anyways, so that's great. And then I watched Mrs. Doubtfire because it's Pi Day. It's 3/14. I always forget. And last year they had a screening of Darren Aronofsky's Pi, and I didn't go to it because it was sold out. And I wish I had. And I was like, oh yeah, March. You always forget about these fun little ways to celebrate along the month. You know, I watched snippets of Pi as well, which I've seen before. Pi by Darren Aronofsky is really cool. It's about the number pi. The number pi is fucking fascinating, by the way. The number pi, like, shut the front door. It is in all things. There's so many, there's the whole thing why it's like, it's never ending. But do you know, pi is interesting because a circle, how you make a circle, it's like, it's never perfect. There's no way, it's like incomplete. It's whatever. You can see diagrams of circles going, and where they go to reconnect, it'll be off by ever so much, and then I don't know. And it says something about time, and it says something about like the Fibonacci sequence. I don't know. There's weird numbers and calculations of probabilities in pi. It's weird. Like you can draw. There's an exercise where you can draw like lines on a piece of paper and throw toothpicks across, and if you do the calculation right, divide the number of toothpicks that land on the paper, and by the number that hit the lines, it comes out as pi over a big enough scale. It's fucking pi is cool. So I like to celebrate the day. So I watched a bunch of fucking math shit that day. And you just watch pi stuff, you know? And pi's a great... I get too fucking nerded out about pi. Pi is great because on Pi Day, people get cute and they like eat pies, right? Which is fun. But it's still celebrating the math because it is a circle. You know what I fucking mean? It's pi. Pi is a ratio of the circumference to the diameter or the radius. I think it's the radius. And it's usually 3 circumference. Or is it the diameter? Diameter's all the way across. Radius is half of it. I don't know. Pi's fun. Anyways, I watched Mrs. Doubtfire because it's got a great pie scene. You know, whenever he can't find his mask and he's still doing Mrs. Doubtfire. And so he puts his face in the cream and he's like, hello! You know what I'm talking about. Celebrate pie. Next year I'm going to watch American Pie. Watch Jim put his dick in the pie, you know what I mean? It's funny. All right. And then I watched for the first time in my life on St. Paddy's Day, for the first time ever, I watched Leprechaun. Yeah, 1993, the horror movie. And I never watch it because I think of it in October, but then I'm like, oh, I should watch this on St. Paddy's Day because duh. And, dude, Warwick Davis, who's in Star Wars movies and Harry Potter, you know, great actor. He's in it as the Leprechaun. And Jennifer Aniston is in it. It's like one of her first film roles. Whew. Yeah, dude, this movie's just like, it's 90 minutes. Number one, it's 90. It's an hour and a half. And it's got nothing, no fat on it. You know what I mean? It's just good, sets you up with the inciting incident and introduces the characters. And, you know, it's pretty damn good acting and special effects. And the special effects are fun and the sounds are fun. And I don't know. Leprechaun's great. I'm going to watch all the sequels every St. Paddy's from here on in. What else was I going to say about Leprechaun? I don't know. It's good. Then I watched Boondock Saints. I don't like that movie. And I'm sorry. And I don't think it's a bad movie. I don't think there's anything wrong with the movie. I just don't. Movie's never done it for me. I don't know. Just like the tone, like I don't dislike anything about it. Just kind of the way it comes together. I'm like, I just don't like watching it. I don't know. Like I don't have a problem with gun violence. I don't like. It's all cool, and I thought it would be cool to put it on. I feel like no one wants to listen to someone talk about which they hate Boondock Saints, but someone has to say it. I feel like no one says that's a bad movie, and I'm not even saying it's a bad movie. I'm just saying I don't like it. It makes me feel stressed out. Yeah, there's not enough levity. But I get it. There is jokes. There's like plenty of comic relief. Willem Dafoe's great. You know, it's a fun twist. I just don't like watching it. Okay? It's fine to feel. I think there's a sequel. I'm glad there is. They should make more. It's not my cup of Irish tea. Irish coffee. St. Paddy's Day. I really do it on the movies, you know? When else are you going to get into Irish shit? Dude, it's fun to kind of get some Irish shit and then not go back to it, you know? Like, Irish culture is beautiful and all, but it's just so white and red that you're like, I only need so much of this fucking shit. Oh, top of the morning to you with me shillelagh. Watch fucking Stone Cold Stun Hornswoggle a million times. Like, I don't know. There's only so many. The green beer, the green clothes. It's not the fucking, you know. This is just a metaphor for what my alien form really is. You know, my interdimensionalness. I don't. Yeah, I mean, now I like it. See, that's the thing. Green looks good on aliens. It doesn't look good on humans. I feel so bad because I just realized that my girlfriend's favorite color is green. And she looks fantastic in it. She looks wonderful. I'm sorry, baby. You look great in green. The St. Patty's is a little much. I don't know how to put it. Like the beer, I'm backpedaling so hard because she's one listeners consistently I have. I mean millions. I have millions and millions of listeners. You look great in green. Okay? That's the problem. Everyone else looks ugly. It looks so ugly on everyone else that only my girlfriend looks beautiful in it. What the fuck now? Who's winning? Winner, chicken dinner, please don't leave me. Listen, if you leave me, then I'm just going to beg for you back. And I'm going to continue begging. Play it against sports. You see what I said to Play It Against Sports? About fucking... You watch my threats to Play It Against Sports. Same goes to my girlfriend. I will just beg for her attention. Please. You look great in green. Everyone else looks like shit. I watched Glenn Ross. Coffee's for closers. I fucking love that movie. I love it. What's it about? It's about selling something. The leads. Give me the fucking leads. Fuck you. Al Pacino. Alec Baldwin. Jack Lemmon. I think he got an Academy Award for it. David Mamet wrote it, you know. I would love to see the play. I love this movie. And I've read the play, and it gets me hype about writing dialogue. You know, this gets me excited about dialogue. He's got a way of Mamet speak. They call it David Mamet speak, where people, you know, they're kind of not making sense, but given the context and what they're saying, it makes sense. You know, it'll be dialogue basically like the way I fucking talk. Pretend I was having a conversation with someone else, but they're like, yo, what are we talking about? They go, oh, you know what we're talking about. You know what we're talking about? You know what we're talking about. No, I don't want to talk about that. Big dialogue like that. But if you saw what they were talking about, maybe you saw the character grab an object beforehand, you know. I love Glenn Ross. I love it. It's beautiful. What came next, the chicken or the egg? Hold on, I just had to take a personal break. So if you're listening to this podcast, I've been going for a little while, you know? Take that minute, too, to take a pause, take a breath. It's okay. It's cool. It's all right, dog. It's all right. I'm still on my movies. I got plenty. I can take my time. You can take yours. You can listen to this later. You can listen to something else. It's fine. It's not a big deal. I'll make another one of these one day. I watched Dream Scenario. Nicolas Cage movie, an A24 movie. You know? One of those cool, trippy-looking A24 movies where you see a trailer and, you know, if they got a movie star, in this case, Nicolas Cage, and I had no idea what this movie was about going in. Dude, very good. Very good. I'm such a film fan, I gotta be honest. A24 has got a consistency of putting out weird shit that I am bound to like it, whether I love it or not, you know? And I really love this movie. It's fucking weird, and I thought it was really interesting, the plot. It was very much about dreams. It's very much... This was cooler than Inception. I'll tell you that, because it was. Now that I'm just now realizing. I mean, you can. There's only so many movies about dreams. It's like these and fucking. What's that one movie with? I forget it. Anyways, this Nick Cage movie had you wondering whose dream you're in. Basically, it's a movie where the whole world, there's a phenomenon where everyone's dreaming about Nick Cage's character. And Nick Cage is just a professor, a regular dude. But it's very much, you're like wondering if it's his dream or everyone else's, all this shit. And anyways, I was fascinated. Especially because I had the pleasure of knowing one of my buddies is in this movie. A friend of mine, Alex Warren, who was in Meisner class with me under Bill Alderson in Los Angeles. Dude, we took class together for 2 years doing the method. I already had so much respect for Alex because he's so fucking cool and he's fucking down to show up and act and he's the real motherfucking deal, you know? And dude, it's cool, man. He's in this huge movie with fucking Nicolas Cage. I just don't know what to fucking think about that, dude. That's so cool. I was like acting on stage in this like, you know, theater Meisner class in LA, and dude, that was, you know, I treasure all that, but you know, we're just doing it in front of each other and just dreaming of like, how do we do this? How do we get on this? And motherfuckers in a movie, crazy with Nicolas Cage, real deal. And I don't know, man. It's cool because it seems. It just seems tangible. I mean, I know I've had cool shit. I've been on TV. It's not like it's, but I haven't been in a big silver screen, widely movie. You know, I mean, for God's sakes, Nicolas Cage was nominated for fucking Best Actor for this shit. He wasn't for the Oscars. He was for the SAG Awards or the Golden Globes. The Golden Globes for sure. You know, it's a big fucking deal, dude. Anyways, Alex. Acting was fantastic. Alex, his tone is, he can do all sorts of shit, but the movie has this, I characterize, it's got a tone where it's kind of presenting things serious, but there's a very fun life through it, underneath it, you know, and like, I don't know. Anyways, that's what his character is like, working in an office with Nick Cage's wife. Yeah, his wife in the story. And he's just got a way. He's like snarky and snobby to her. And he's like really fucking polite though. Like he's really polite. And he's just like politely, I don't know. He's really good and condescending, which is cool because, you know, Alex, he's like the nicest fucking guy in the world. I don't know. I can't say enough. I'll try and quit sucking Alex's dick, dude. It's crazy to take acting class with some person and they're in a huge movie with Nick Cage, though, dude. Fuck. As they say in Angels in the Outfield. It could happen. God darn right it can. Okay, I'm almost done with my movies. Then I watched Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe. They made a sequel to Beavis and Butthead Do America. I love Beavis and Butthead Do America. I watch it like every Thanksgiving for some reason. It's one of the greatest movies of all time. They made this sequel, which was great, really cool, really fun. There's nothing wrong with this movie. I mean, admittedly, I was editing my last podcast while I watched it, so I wasn't like incredibly engaged. I could watch it again. It's all about them going into NASA and fucking going back in time through this black hole. It's a great fucking plot, you know. A lot of run by numbers on the jokes and shit and of the time, and I don't know. It's like they catch up. They go from 1998 to 2022, and they have to. I don't know. There's a bunch of jokes about the time period that I don't understand about social media and Gen X and all this, or Gen Z and all this shit. You know, you get it. So that's cool. Then lastly, I watched X-Men Apocalypse, and I will get to that, but I watched X-Men Apocalypse because I got some on-theme shit. And X-Men Apocalypse is a fun, like, music video to watch in a way, you know? It's not a great movie by any means, but I like it. You know, I like it just fine. And dare I say I love it because it's fucking X-Men, you know? It's got Cyclops and Jean Grey doing the shit, falling in love. Whatever. It's very much a background movie these days. Those are all the movies I watched. Book, I read The Jungle. I finished that. I don't know if I before last one, whatever. My last podcast was the book report on it. So that was that deal. I haven't began my next book yet, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be Oscar Wilde, and I'll tell you why in a second. Because I read some poetry and a play by him. So I think I'm going to read The Picture of Dorian Gray. And Oscar Wilde is a very prolific author, but it's funny, he's got like one poem that's dope, one play that's dope. He's got that book, The Picture of Dorian Gray, that people know of, the guy with the painting that when he looks at it, he dies or whatever. This painting of himself, he gets older. I don't know. I haven't read it yet. Planning on it. Oh, I forgot. I started reading The 48 Laws of Power. And according to that book, I'm not supposed to talk about it. You're not supposed to give away your plans. You know what? Good shit. And I can see how a narcissist or a psychopath could grab that book and it would be not good for other people, but, gotta know your fucking jujitsu. Okay. Play. I read The Importance of Being Earnest because I like reading plays, like expand the knowledge. Every time I read a book or a play that's new, because you go down the line of best ones you've never read, and there's always something where you're like, oh, this is where it's at, man. Like whenever I read Zoo Story, when I read Streetcar Named Desire, when I read True West, when I read Death of a Salesman, like every time you're like, holy shit, when I read Raisin in the Sun and whatever, dude. I read The Importance of Being Earnest, and I was like, this is where it's at. This is exactly where it's at. Really funny play about, I don't know, I'm going to do it. I'd like to, if I get enough fucking time, I need to get my resources together. It's a very funny play that is about guys lying about their name to try and get some lattes, and it's very whimsical and fun. It reminds me of kind of Taming of the Shrew in a way, but just like a more simplified and coherent like story in more modern English. Was this written in the 1800s by Oscar Wilde? That was great. That was lovely. This is a play I think I'd like to, it's so good, I need to go like watch a production of it. Number one, I'd like to be in a production of it, and I think I'm going to take a scene of it with a friend of mine if I can, and audition for the Actors Studio with it. Because I was thinking maybe doing True West or American Buffalo. The Importance of Being Earnest would be a wonderful piece of literature to work on. And then I read, because I like the cycle of maybe going through a book and then a play and then reading a poem. I'm going to try to keep that going in my life. Read some poem. And I read by Oscar Wilde again, because said he wrote some poetry, so of course keep that fucking Wilde train going. I read The Ballad of Reading Gaol, which is a very interesting poem in that Oscar Wilde was in prison when he wrote it for being gay. It was illegal to be gay. He got caught being gay and tossed in the clinky, and he was in jail for like a year or 2 years. And while he's in there, some dude came in for killing his wife, and that dude was hung. And the poem is all about that. It's all about the procession of the man walking in and them judging him for what they did or what evil he did, and him paying for his crime. And what was the line he said? Something about death. Like everyone likes, I don't know. He was good at killing or something, and they got killed or something. Something about he killed his wife, so then he's getting killed for it, or I don't know. You know what? I don't know. I'm gonna do a little report on Oscar Wilde someday, and you'll get it. But I love the poem. It's good to read a good piece of classic literature, and you're like, I get it, dude. It's about, I think he was judging his own crimes, and he's like, oh, what's the matter? We're all in the same place. It's kind of a reading of it. I read it out loud to myself too. Is that weird? Yeah, it was poetry. Now, in television, I watched Wolverine and the X-Men, the 2009 X-Men series. Watch all that. There's only one season. You can tell because they left it on a fucking cliffhanger. It came after X-Men Evolution and after X-Men the animated series. It's cool. I like any Marvel cartoon, period. Any of them do. Wrapped it up on the Love is Blind season 6 on their little reunion episode. That's good. I don't know. I don't got much to say about that. Whatever. They need some real. They need to bring the real fucking Love is Blind, man. The fucking, you know what I mean. Some real people they unveil that curtain and they look different than what you were expecting, you know. Maybe losing some appendages, maybe grotesquely over or underweight. Maybe they have a meth addiction and they're hiding it from you the whole time. That needs to be it. Are they sober or are they not? If they all, I don't know. Instead of just casting drunks, get some fucking crack addicts that can pass for an hour at a time, enough to fool a guy, which ain't fucking hard, probably. There's my mask. It's not a mask. It's a metaphor for explaining aliens and dimensions, like the hologram metaphor the guy was trying to say. Okay. I'm watching Star Trek The Next Gen. This is a show that I didn't watch a lot as a kid, and I didn't like. I just didn't like the feel of it. But now that I get older, I'm like, I don't know. It's kind of calming when I'm trying to just chill. I don't even have to pay attention to it. I really like the visuals. Now time for the main event. A little TV show came out this past week that very much indicates to me that the simulation is real and it's for Jordan, and I'm fine with that. Okay? They came out with a sequel cartoon to my favorite cartoon from the 90s. They came out with a sequel to the X-Men, the original animated series. You know what I'm saying? You know what X-Men 97 is? They took a show that ran from like 1992 to 96, 5 seasons, had a complete, mostly, closed story. They closed it in a way. And they stopped it, and then they created another cartoon version of the X-Men with different animation style a few years later, and then a different version after that, and then it's kind of been on ice, but they had other Marvel shows and shit. They came out with X-Men 97, picking up where that show left off in 1996 with that Professor X dying, quote unquote. And they came out with a sequel. Like, they're picking up where they fucking left us. So it's like I was 6 years old and I got the fuck up and I was like, all right, X-Men, that was amazing. That was the best thing ever for me. That was so beautiful. I'll see you in 18 years. Cool. When you grow up, when X-Men is 18, let's smoke joints, get a beer, depending on what state you're in. I guess, I don't know what year it is. Days of Future Past. Get fucking... Dude, it's so good. And I don't know, man. Maybe it's because you get older, you don't like his newer animation styles as much. But just that old shit, that 2D sort of flatness, but it's beautiful. It's 3D from perspective, the way they're drawing it, I don't know, dude. Cyclops is running the shit. You always thought of fucking Laser Eyes, motherfucking Scott Summers, as being some pussy who just got to be choo, choo, choo. Nah, dude. This dude's punching and kicking ass and he jumps from the sky, fucking skydiving style, and he uses his laser to shoot down on the ground and keep himself propelled up so he doesn't fucking smash into the earth and he lands safely off his fucking beam. Cyclops is a motherfucking badass, dude. And I am Scott Summers, okay? I'm an alien, and I'm Scott Summers, and I'm Cyclops, and I would have been Johnny Storm. I am Johnny Storm. I don't know. I love X-Men. I'm so proud of X-Men 97. I'm so proud of it. I love it. I don't know why they fired their showrunner after he just wrote the second season for that show. I'm not going to get into it because I want to be in the Illuminati, which I created because I am an alien.
All right, Jordan.
Just shut the fuck up. All right, that's all the television shows I watched. Documentaries. I watched a shitty one called The Program about some kids getting. I watched 2 documentaries about kids getting abused, and the first one I watched, The Program, was boring as fuck, so didn't finish it. Last one, that'll be the banger we get to. Then I watched Nova, this Fibonacci and Pi. Dude, I love my level of math because my math's not too high. I used to be in advanced math up until like 8th grade, and then they moved on to trig and calc, and like I was like, fucking, it's a little. Maybe I could do it, but I ain't into it. I want to play guitar. I like knowing about math and learning about physics now. Even though I don't really learn, I'm like, I love hearing about it. I'm like, ooh, yeah. Cool. Fibonacci sequence. Dude, the Fibonacci sequence is in all nature. 1 + 1 = 2, 2 + 1 = 3, 3 + 2 = 5, 5 + 3 = 8. It's a sequence that is repeating in patterns and geometric shapes, and like pi too shows up in pi in ways, and there's all sorts of correlations. I don't know. It's a great doc. Then also on Pi Day, I watched The Day the Music Died, the story of Don McLean's American Pie. I can't fucking sing. Bye bye, Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing, "This'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die." Gary Busey played Buddy Holly in a movie once, and I love Gary Busey, and I had his pants once. I had his pants from this film production company I worked at, Revolutionary Productions. He did a short film for them, or a film or something that never got made, but they paid him for a day, and the pants he wore were around, and I took them. I stole them. They were green, and I gave them to my friend Kayvon in college to have for his birthday because I thought they were cool, and I wasn't really going to wear them that much, but I bet he got rid of them because what are you going to do? But I wish I still had them. They were green. And the only person I think they would look good on is my girlfriend. That's it. Still doing good. Then I watched Stone Cold Steve Austin documentary. I watched Steve Austin, Bottom Line. And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so. Is that a good? My friend Rishi Arya does a great Stone Cold Steve Austin, and it's so funny because he's Indian. And it's so good, too. I'm going to whoop your ass. Austin 316 says I just whooped your ass. I wish I could do that better. Then I watched Reversing the Chicago River in Chicago Union Stockyards. Refer to my previous podcast, Jordan Leer Book Report on The Jungle by Upton Sinclair. I get into all those Union Stockyards and the Reversing the Chicago River. Ugh. And Food Inc. I watch Food Inc. too. Gross. What are you going to do? Play to the algorithm. You're just going to have to, okay? You're just going to have to. This next part, I'm going to get a little, for business purposes, I'm going to be an alien to talk about this next part, okay? All right. Took a little breather. We're all cool. Everything's cool here. We're about to talk about some real shit. You want some Hollywood dark stories? You want some dark Hollywood stories? Before I put on this alien mask and tell you about some real shit, okay, on the Jordan Leer program, I ain't got nothing to hide. I ain't got no problem. I'm just going to tell you that I ain't got... Everything on this podcast is fiction and a fabrication and for comedic purposes. And if anything resembles anything real in this podcast, well, that is so dumb. It shouldn't. This was meant to be a dumb joke. Okay? This is a dumb joke. I'm an alien. It's a metaphor. It's a dimensional metaphor. Take another hit before this alien talks about Quiet on the Set, the documentary on the ID channel right now about Nickelodeon. All right. Real shit. As an alien, as a young alien, I landed in a place around Hollywood, called Hollywood, in 2011. Through 2022 was out there. Anyways, I watched this documentary, Quiet on Set, about. Oh, Jesus. I just can't breathe through this shit. I watched Quiet on Set about. I should do it. About the pedophiles in Hollywood, okay? On the fucking Drake and Josh show, Drake got fucking raped and all this shit by a dialogue coach. Anyone who says they're a fucking dialogue coach, they're so full of shit. There's no reason for a dialogue coach. You either know how to fucking act or you don't. What the fuck are you talking about, okay? If someone is a dialogue coach, that means they're trying to rape you. Okay? Big secret is out there to everyone taking fucking, dialogue lessons or whatever. Dialect, that might be a little different, okay? There are some, that's a real thing. Dialect is a real fucking dialogue. What the fuck? That's the whole, it's like an acting coach. It's like, I'm the fucking actor. I need a whole thing. There's things to whatever. Anyways, I watched Quiet on Set. About Dan Schneider making all the kids do cum shots on fucking all that, and making them weird outfits, a pedophile, and then one of the dialogue coaches like raped Drake or whatever. This shit's fucking weird, man. And I, as an alien, was doing research as an actor for years, and I've done some work on some shows, and my girlfriend, she fucking asks me, she's like, anything ever happened to you? And I'm like, no, nothing ever happened, but I had weird shit, dude. Like encounters, and number one, I was too old for anything to happen. You know what I mean? I was just too old. It's like, I think guys sniffed me out and tried, maybe wanted to invite me to somewhere, but I never even got invited because they're like, this fucking 20-year-old ain't going to get raped unless I drug him. Which probably would have been my weakness because, as an alien, aliens like drugs. Anywho, had a few weird things. Like when I first went out to LA, some guy I met at a party wanted to be my manager, and he actually was a manager too. His name was like Robert fucking something. Anyways, and I was all pumped because the dude's like, yeah, you're the next big thing. I'll get you in all this. And he repped some dude that acted for a little bit on the OC or some shit. He was legit. But I also looked him up, and he was he was a creep, dude. And he was getting like sued. Like he was online, And the dude just like grabbed me weird. And I was like, whoa, back the fuck up, dude. And like, that was that, I had another time for a TV show. I don't know, some casting director, he wanted me to stick around and talk after. And it wasn't that weird, but it was weird enough because to me, I'm like, it has nothing to do with the fucking acting. The guy wasn't asking me anything about acting. He was like, it was just kind of weird. He was like, oh, how's your summer? That was one thing. Multiple other bullshit things of just people screaming at each other I don't like. But as far as sexual harassment, I guess another time, near I was on a big set, okay, and one of the producers I had met, fucking like, I don't know, they just said I met them and they grabbed my arm and it was real light, but it was just enough where you got a sense, you're like, ooh, that person is trying to engage in a way too like weird, soft, like intimate way right off the bat. Anyways, I watched this documentary, and that's all sorts of what these fucking kids are saying. They're like, dude, that's how it started, It starts out real light like that, and then it's non-stop like that, and then it leads to the horrific fucking real deal. You know what I mean? And it's so real, man. My research in Hollywood, it's not a conspiracy, okay? It's just not. They were like, really, and it's not that secretive. It's not that, like, look how blatant it is. Like, look what they're fucking doing to Olivia Rodrigo out there. You know what I mean? When's her and Billie Eilish, when's their documentary going to come out about how they're just getting taken here and there from place to place and told to wear this and wear that and be this and sexualize this way and that. And it's like weird, dude. Take advantage of kids like that.
fucking weird. Okay. Now, not however, dude, I'm watching this documentary and I recognize 3 people in the documentary. Granted, the 3 people I recognize are not people that are getting accused of anything, have been accused of anything. However, they are men that are working. What I say, men or women? Men or women? I'm actually not sure totally on the entirety on all of them. These people I've met and worked along are also people who I've heard a vibe of like creepiness from before in my limited reactions. Which, I mean, just whatever, pure speculation, I guess. What the fuck ever. I got a pretty good sense of things right off the bat. But they're doing weird shit, and they're sitting next to the people that are in charge. Like, okay, the guy that raped Josh. They keep showing another person sitting next to them the entire time. That I'm like, I thought that was kind of fucking creepy. What the fuck? And there's like a ring of it. Like they're all in it with each other, man. It's fucking odd. There's them, another person that was an actor acting in the thing, tickling one of the kid's feet. I like acted with them before in something. And what the fuck else? Another person who does who I've met performing improv before, and I've seen. I'm like, always just got a weird vibe where they just something's off. And I see them where they used to work for fucking Nickelodeon, and I'm just like, it's a fucking circle of fucking my instincts were right, and yours are too, America. Allegedly. Hey, the Illuminati wants to fucking bring J-Dog back to the table. We're here to talk, and we're here to delete episodes. We're here to re-edit audio. And it's always a fabrication, a joke. I'm just kidding about all this shit. But I really acted with the dude that tickled the feet. And the one dude was a producer on one of the shows I acted on. He's sitting right next to the fucking Brian Peck, the dude that raped Josh. And a bunch of the pictures they keep showing. And the other dude, I fucking run shows at this place in New York. He's doing one of the cum shot scenes with a fucking thing. It's weird, dude. I don't like it. It makes me feel way better about not auditioning for people's shit. And I'm sure I'm still gonna. But, dang, man. Those are the true Hollywood stories. This is a fun segment. I put on the mask for something, you know? If I can talk something wild, just put on the old alien mask. It's a metaphor. Whew. It's torturous. I don't know how nurses do it. And to finish it off, I watched the Eras Tour music documentary, Taylor's version. Felt weird, man. Felt weird. It was great. I mean, I love the music. I love her. She's like, it's a great show. Obviously, the music, it's like the performers aren't like playing music. There's no way. She's playing a stadium, which is incredible. I just wish it was real like playing music and her really singing. And I'm sure, she's singing a little bit, but the dominant thing is only backtracks. And it's like, part of the fun of playing a bigger venue is that it presents challenges, man. I remember I taped my little fucking 10-minute special, and as soon as I got in there, I was like, oh, this venue's big. It's like it echoes, the sound. Like that's a thing to take into consideration with how you're performing. It's a fun, I don't know. John Frusciante talks about it with the Chili Peppers. Talks about he's playing places that are so big that, he does something with delay or reverb in the studio, and he goes to a venue like a soccer stadium, and the sound reverbs and delays naturally a little bit and repeats it back to and loops it back to you anyways, where it's like you don't need to add that through your amp or anything. That would be more impressive. But whatever. I bow to the Illuminati. Whatever. It's cool. All right, that was a good program. I think that's enough words. Hey, you got enough words for a little while, okay? And I hope you all have enjoyed this journey with me. That is the Jordan Leer program. It will always be here for you in all of its entirety.
this human experience documented through time and space here on Earth will always be available for you to like and subscribe to Jordan Leer's channel, Jordan Leer, JordanLeer, on YouTube, Spotify. Find me on the TikToks, Jordan Leer, Instagram, the Jordan Leer program. Subscribe to my Patreon for $1 a month. Jordan Leer. Look me up, support me, and I will support you back by providing fantastic art. It's coming. Enjoy my show. This will be a lovely learning experience. You're gonna read more books, watch some plays, gonna be at the movies, gonna be in the movies. I just live. April gonna be around here. April's the real fucking spring. March is fucking bullshit. April showers bring May flowers and powers of rangers and different dangers. I may be an endangered species. Not if you're an alien, though. And alien tears will fill for him pity's long broken urn. For his mourners will all be outcast men, and outcasts always mourn.